Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This weekend I had the opportunity to try ELYON for I would lie if I would say it was a few hours. It was more like 16, my boys. I just couldn't stop playing, to be honest with you. So I really wanted to share my very first impressions on the game, because this is the first time I'm playing it myself, before they disappear from my mind. There is nothing special about ELYON. There is absolutely nothing special. You've seen all of it before. However, there is something very magical about this MMORPG. There is something that I believe is going to capture the hearts and the minds and the eyes of very many people here in the West. If you don't know anything about ELYON, I highly recommend that you try this game out in Korea. Right now, this weekend, you still have time when you're watching this video, if you're in the first few hundred that do. Right now, this weekend, they have a stress test in Korea. It's just a couple of days, yesterday and today, Sunday 29th. And then on the 10th of December, in just 2 weeks from now, they're gonna have the official big release. I have a video guide on how to try, how to play, how to get ELYON and play it on the Korean servers. It's linked in the description below. It's my last video before this one, and I highly advise that you give it a try, because you're gonna find so many lovely things from MMORPGs in the past that you won't even believe it. And let's face it, to me, the very first impressions that ELYON gave me is too few. At the beginning, in the first 10 minutes, I was disappointed, because I was expecting a lot more from a fresh new MMORPG. The loading screen looked like a picture that my 2-year-old daughter can make. The text, the font and the text, there was no animations in the game's name there as you were in the server selection screen. And then later on, all of the UIs in the character creation and such, they were just very simplistic, just black with white borders. Nothing really special, exactly the same almost as Bless Online did it. Now, as I was going inside the game, I remembered the telegraphs, 100% Terra. I remembered the looks of the world, let's call it like that, and the mobs. That's like almost Black Desert Online. There are a lot of different elements combined into this game. Then at one point during my leveling up process, which by the way, leveling up process, by far the best leveling up system that I've seen in the last 10 years in any MMORPG. They don't care, these people, about keeping you at level 20, grinding there and doing your yellow quests from one guy to the other, and talk to this guy, pick up a barrel because that guy cannot pick it up himself. Nah, leveling up in ELYON is probably one of the highlights of the game for me so far. I got to level 30 on 2 different characters, and I hate leveling up. I just don't like it. I'm not a guy who loves these kinds of things and the story and stuff like that. And ELYON just hit the nail on the head with the leveling up process. The quests that you do while you level up basically teach you things about the game, about the runes, about your weapons, about your gear, and this is how you level up. And at certain points you get to like mini camps in which you have a series of other quests as well that are just like mob killing quests, which is absolutely fantastic, and they have so good timing in terms of leveling up and when to give you these quests that you cannot even imagine. The second you get bored of learning ELYON, right, then those quests come, and then you go and fight mobs, and the combat is absolutely lovely. May I just say that, because it just feels, again, something 2020, something fast. It's just AoEs over AoEs and tens of mobs, and you just pull them, and then another guy comes with his AoEs, and you know, every class is like an AoE massacre in ELYON, including the healer, which was one of my characters. I was surprised about that as well. And I didn't even realize how much I missed just grinding mobs in the open world and that action being meaningful. ELYON delivers that, because with grinding mobs you can get currency and you can get XP, and because of that it's rewarding. It feels fun because of the combat and because of everything around you that just looks really beautiful, and on top of that it's also rewarding. I can say that playing ELYON is just like going out in the club. It's loud, it's obnoxious, but it's fun, dude. It's just like disconnecting yourself from have-tos, from need-tos, from being forced to do this now and that then and this afterwards. It was just liberating. just a liberating experience. A couple of negative very first impressions before I forget these as well. Me as a player in 2020 that has been playing other MMORPGs from very high quality to very poor quality, I cannot find a class in ELYON that speaks to me. I cannot find a class that I'm 100% sold on. I have to choose what's the next best thing to something that I would really want to play in ELYON, or something that I would really want to play in 2020. They have started with very few classes. I think there's 5 in total, and there's a tank, there's a healer, there's a gunner, there's an assassin, and there's a mage. Now, I'm not the mage type, I'm not the healer type, I'm not the assassin type, I'm not really the pistolier type, even though sometimes it has a couple of skills that, you know, shoots a big cannon, which is a little bit attractive, so that would be like a second kind of option for me. I'm pretty sure though that most people will actually find a class to play out of these 5 that I mentioned, and you know, there's healers, there's tanks, and there's DPSs, so eventually there's gonna be a second tank, there's gonna be a second type of healer, and so on. And I believe that in ELYON, a release of a new class might be a big event, like a huge event in the game when that's gonna happen. However, at this moment, I just felt that there is nothing for me there. There's nothing special, to tell you the truth. I'm just thinking, why isn't there a ranger? Everyone has a ranger, like someone with a bow. They've started with a gunner, with pistols or bazooka. It's just a little bit weird for me, the classes. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that, to my eyes, coming from the games that I come from, the whole UI and the whole world and the fighting and the other people around you, it just looks a little bit too much. It looks messy, it looks all over the place, dirty on your screen, if that makes sense. Now, for people who have played BDO for 5 years already, I believe that they won't really make any distinction, right? But for me, I'm used to a little bit more of a, let's say, more arranged, cleaner looking kind of UI, or something that has a bit more defined edges. I don't even know how to explain it, but the whole first glance at your character and what you see when you enter the world, it just, you know, made me a little bit dizzy, to be honest, and I was a little bit confused as to where am I supposed to be focusing right now. However, these things just pale in comparison to the fun that I've had yesterday on Saturday in ELYON, and I can safely say that after a few hours of actually paying attention and playing and getting used to and getting a couple of headache pills, I was finally able to see the true potential of the game. And I think that this is gonna be a big thing in the West. I believe that very many players are gonna like this. I believe that many players that have played Terra or Bless or were attracted to those 2 games, also players from BDO, are actually gonna band up in ELYON. I think it's gonna be a big title, and I just have to praise them for all of the cool things that they've done, all of the accessible things. Everything is so at your hand. As a new player, I haven't ever felt so rewarded from doing the things that the game, the little things that the game asked me to do, being rewarded with a lot of levels, a lot of XP, money and fun, and all sorts of goodies that they gave out. Super cool. Very happy that I actually tried this. I was tempted not to, because you know, everything that comes from Korea is pay to win, and I am already committed with my heart in Lost Ark. But ELYON is something special. I highly recommend that you give this game a try. If you don't want to hurry up and do it today at the moment of this video, Sunday 29th, then you have time to watch my guide and prepare yourself for the 10th of December, when it's actually going to come out, and everyone will get the chance to play it. Very excited to share with you more of my adventures in ELYON, because I think it's important, and I think it's a game that deserves it. I wish you guys lots of love. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna see you really soon. Take care, stay safe.